What's going on, guys? It's Gendo here, and welcome to episode 17 of the World's First. And today we're going to travel to Skelmersdale in what really is a battle for mid-table. We're sitting in 9th place right now, and hopefully with a win that'll push us up near the promotion playoff spots. But before we get into that match, we must go over how we've been faring over the last month plus, as well as take a look at one new transfer signing. I'm going to go through the schedule this time, not in a very detailed fashion. I'm just going to go through as more of an overview, but since our last live com against Gainsborough, this has been our run of form, and honestly wasn't all that good at the very start. We came away 1-0 losers at home to Darlington, as the only goal coming off of a penalty kick thanks to a really bad tackle by Kieran Coupe that merited a yellow card, setting up the Callan Johnson goal. We then took on league rivals Frickley in the second qualifying round of the FA Cup, and we came away somehow with a 0-0 draw, forcing a replay. But in that replay, we traveled to Frickley and were thoroughly dominated by the score of 4-1. Benny Igihan being our only goal scorer in the 54th minute. That brought it back to 2-1. However, a quick double fire in the 65th and 67th minutes sealed the victory in total for Frickley, and that knocked us out of the FA Cup. We did get a little bit of money for it. I believe we got £4,000 for it, so something. However, getting knocked out once again at the second qualifying round at the first hurdle is rather disappointing. But then we followed that up with a nice little run in the league, getting 3 wins out of our last 5, starting with a 1-0 victory over Matlock at home. Chris Hall, the only goal scorer here, and everyone played rather average. Benny Igihan, the only one that did not have a great day. Neither did George Smith, to be quite honest with you, as he got a 6-3. And honestly, George Smith has been performing less and less over the last few weeks. And I want to say it's due to his training, but at the same time, he also has a lot of competition in the midfield. We then followed that up with another 1-0 victory, this time away from home to Blythe Spartans. Chris Hall once again the goal scorer in the 15th minute. However, we did not end with 11 men on the pitch, as in the 86th minute, Chris Leary got himself his second yellow card and sent off, and also Benny Igihan being subbed off at the very death as well. A fairly average day, and I feel that we were really lucky to come away with all 3 points here. This time, however, 1 goal was not good enough to get the victory, as Curzon Ashton defeated us 3-1 away from home. Kyle Lewis, the only goal scorer in the 86th minute, and overall just a completely bad day on the defensive line, as Luca Coleman-Carr, who's been pining for some first-team football, shows why he is not getting it, because he got a 5.7 average and a yellow card for his troubles. So overall, not a great day for Sheffield, and as we drop our first points since Darlington. But then in the next 2 home matches, we did not record a loss, which is good. In fact, the 2-0 victory versus Kings Lynn was the next result, as Tim Rivers and Chris Hall, both goal scorers for Sheffield. And as you can see, since this run of form, this is the first time we scored over 1 goal in a match. That just shows how kind of anemic our attack is and how we need to gel together as a team. Also shows that I need to come up with a little better strategy when dealing with these opponents. But a 2-0 victory nonetheless is pretty solid, and everybody on the day no lower than a 6-7, which is fairly good. And then we followed that up with a 1-1 draw at home. Tim Rivers the goal scorer for us in the 69th minute, which knotted the matchup at 1-1. And once again, a fairly average day. Could have gone either way, though I think as a whole our team played a lot better than Hyde and possibly could have come away with a winner if we just had a little better accuracy, which seems to be the problem over this last season. Right, and going through all these matches, you may have noticed a name pop up in the side that has not popped up in seasons past, and he is a man that my scouts have found, and as well as a certain YouTuber falling in love with him, I have decided to give him a scout and then actually signed him on, and that player is Elliot Pond. Elliot Pond, coming from the Blackpool Under-21s, who was recently released. He's 20 years old, he's 6 foot, he's left-footed, and he is not all that bad for this level. He's got 11 finishing, 11 first touch. He's got decent flair, he's got decent speed, he's got decent composure. He's overall not bad whatsoever. I believe in terms of comparisons, he's Chris Hall, but with a little weaker mentals and a little weak on the aerial side. But other than that, he is a proper striker for this division. And so far, I've already used him in the 4 out of the last matches that we've had. And he's been okay. He hasn't gotten any goals or assists yet, but I think that's because he's still trying to gel with the club. So just give it a little time, and I'm sure that he can produce for this club. But so Elliot Pond coming in, that did mean a couple of players had to leave, but they were non-contract, so I don't have to worry about release fees and whatnot. I can just send them on their way and not have to deal with them. Right, so let's get into today's match versus Skelmersdale, and they're going to come out in a 4-5-1-V formation. We're going to stick with the 4-4-2 as we have for most of the season. As you can see, this is what the starting lineup is going to be. We're going to have Mark Cook in net, Coupe, Broadhead, Lewis, and Toner. As you can see, I'm getting a little bit of a squad rotation as I'm starting Broadhead and Toner on the back line. Our midfield will be Riley, Cadman, O'Leary, and Buckley. And the 2 strikers up front, Chris Hall and Elliot Pond, with Benny Igihan on the bench as he was coming out of a little bit of a fitness issue. So I want to try and play him off the bench and more than likely use him as a super sub. A win will put us up near the promotion playoff spots, even though there is a half a season to go. Being up near the top 5 is absolutely the position where Sheffield should be. So let's kick off and see what happens. 4 minutes in now, Tom Buckley out on the left. There's just been some wild passing. Chris Hall just cannons it directly into the keeper. Tried again, but then it's just pinballed away. 10 minutes on now, Skelmersdale with a throw in our half, and they're making some good moves. Defense needs to start closing guys down. Ball over the top and over the bar. It's a throw in deep in our half. With about 4 minutes left until halftime. What a save from Mark Cook, as that guy was completely unmarked. And so far it's been a rather boring 0-0 draw. We've had 1 shot on target. I believe Skelmersdale have had 2. But as you saw in the last 5 minutes, Skelmersdale have had most of the attack. And to be quite honest with you, our offense is still rather anemic. Elliot Pond hasn't done much today. He's only on a 6-3. I may sub him out at this halftime just to see if Benny Igihan can do any better. In fact, I think I will just do just that. So we're going to do that. And let's take a look at the analysis of Skelmersdale. So what I'm looking at here is the goalkeeper is not being played through the most. And that could be because in the team instructions I have prevent goalkeeper short distribution. So I'm going to keep that ticked on just so I know that they refuse to play it out the back. It looks like they're playing it mostly through the center of the park. Their key passes are coming both through the left and the right side. Left through mostly the center of the park, but on the right in more of an attacking position. So I'm going to close down the right wing just so I can prevent those key passes coming in. And in fact, most of the crosses are coming in. Most of the completed crosses are coming in from the right side. So I'm going to close down that right wing and hopefully cut down on the amount of chances that they are given in this second half. Corner kick, Brad Riley trying to go near post and cleared away by Skelmersdale. We do keep it in. We could reset for another attack, and we just might. Brad Riley has options in the box. Crosses it in. Benny Igihan far post! And Benny Igihan breaks the deadlock in the 51st minute, just as it ticks over to the 51st minute. It's 1-0 to Sheffield. Some decent build up to that. A good cross to Brad Riley. Igihan rises the highest and heads it back to the far post. It's 1-0. But 6 minutes left to go in this match. Skelmersdale having an attack coming through. Oh, just over the bar. 2 minutes of stoppage. 2 minutes of stoppage time on the clock. Skelmersdale trying to come forth with one more attack, and they're just shooting very wildly. They've had 10 shots taken on the day, 3 of them on target. We've had just 4, but the same amount on goal. And now a little bit of time wasting from Mark Cook as we still have just 1 minute left in this stoppage period. Can we hold down? Can we hold on for this? Ball being headed on forward. Skelmersdale coming down with a long ball over the top to Andrews. Ball in. Cleared away. Mark Cook with the safe hands. And there it is, full time. Sheffield 1, Skelmersdale 0 as we get a nice victory away from home. However, it is still just one goal, and our anemic offense continues over these last couple of months. We really need to rectify this. It's nice that we got the win, but it's definitely poor performance from our strikers. And to be quite honest with you, this is something Benny Igihan coming on and getting the goal as a sub definitely leads me to believe that Elliot Pond is not turning out to be the striker I thought he would be. I mean, yes, he did play in the Championship League One level type before, but now coming down to the 7th tier of English football and he's still not being able to produce is rather worrisome. So just taking a look at the table as it stands right now, we are seeing in 9th place, 25 points through 17 matches. Everyone else apparently one above us, so we're still 2 points out of the playoff spots here in 5th place. Durham are just running away with the league. They're 11 points clear after 17 matches. And Durham are a very curious case because over the last 2 years they garnered back-to-back promotions, and if they keep up this pace, they could have 3 straight years of 3 straight promotions, to get up into the Vanarama Conference North. As you can take a look at that, county leagues, and then I want to say they're in the Northern Premier South. But yeah, they're a really curious case, as 3 straight promotions in 3 back-to-back years is rather unheard of. It's almost unheard of. But now let's take a look at our upcoming schedule and who we could possibly face. Over the next couple of months, you're going to be taking on Buxton, Northwich, Scarborough, Spalding, Tadcaster, Stourbridge, Maine, Frickley, Ashton United. You know what? I think this is 9 matches beforehand. I want to go after the top boys. I think a match versus Durham would be the best possible match that we can go after. So when we come back, we're going to travel away to Durham and hopefully take off the top boys. So until that time, I'd like to thank you all very much for watching. If you liked what you saw, please hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new and you want to see more FM content on the channel. Any comments, suggestions, questions, anything else, please leave in the comment box below. But as always, this is Gendo, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, and peace out.